Saturn is famous for its rings, but what if the most beautiful thing about this planet is also the first sign that something is wrong? From Earth, those rings look perfect, a clean circle around a silent world. But they are not solid, they are not smooth, and they are not decoration. They are billions of fragments, ice, dust, and rock, moving around a giant where no human could ever stand, because Saturn has no real surface, no ground waiting beneath those clouds, no safe place where a descent would end, only depth, pressure, storms, and darkness. And beyond the rings, a kingdom of moons, frozen worlds, hidden oceans, and places stranger than Saturn itself. So in this journey, we will go closer, into the rings, into the clouds, into the moons, and into the questions Saturn leaves behind. Why does the most beautiful planet in the solar system feel like a warning?
From far away, Saturn does not look dangerous. It does not look violent. It does not look like a monster. It looks calm, almost perfect. A pale golden world floating in the darkness, surrounded by rings so thin and precise they seem unreal. If Jupiter feels like power, Saturn feels like silence. But that silence is misleading. Saturn is not a solid world. There is no ground beneath those soft clouds, no mountains, no oceans, no place where a spacecraft could land and survive. What we see from space is only the top of an atmosphere, a vast envelope of hydrogen and helium wrapped around a planet with no true surface. And below that beauty, everything becomes more hostile. The pressure rises, the temperature grows, the clouds become deeper, darker, and heavier. Saturn's winds can move faster than the most powerful storms on Earth, racing through the upper atmosphere, while the planet remains almost peaceful from a distance. That is what makes Saturn so strange. It does not warn you with chaos. It does not show its danger immediately. It hides it behind symmetry, behind golden clouds, behind the most beautiful rings in the solar system. Saturn's beauty is not safety. It is distance. From far away, it looks like a dream. But if you came too close, that dream would become a place with no ground, no escape, and no way back. Saturn's rings look impossible. Thin, perfect, almost weightless, like jewelry placed around a planet. But the rings are not elegant by nature. They are violent. They are debris. What looks like a single shining disk is actually made of countless fragments, ice, dust, and rock, all racing around Saturn at enormous speed. Some pieces are smaller than grains of sand. Others are as large as mountains. Together, they form one of the most beautiful structures in the solar system, and one of the most fragile. The rings are incredibly wide, stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers across space. But in many places, they are astonishingly thin, thinner than we expect something so vast to be. From a distance, they look smooth. Up close, they are chaos, collisions, gaps, waves, broken fragments circling a giant world. Saturn does not wear these rings like a crown. It is surrounded by the remains of things that did not survive. The rings are not jewelry, they are debris. Saturn looks heavy, a giant world wrapped in clouds, rings, and shadow. It is so large that more than 700 Earths could fit inside it. And yet, Saturn is strangely light for its size. Not small, not weak, but light. Its average density is lower than water. That means, if an impossible ocean existed, an ocean large enough to hold a planet, Saturn would float, a gas giant, wider than Earth, surrounded by rings that stretch across space, and still less dense than water. This is the paradox of Saturn. It looks massive. It looks eternal. It looks like something that should sink through the universe. but Saturn is mostly hydrogen and helium, a vast, cold atmosphere wrapped around deeper and stranger layers below. It is not a stone world. It is not a metal world. It is a giant made mostly of the lightest elements in existence. A planet that seems too beautiful to be dangerous and too enormous to be light. But Saturn is both. A giant planet, lighter than it looks. Imagine descending into Saturn. At first, it would not feel like entering a monster. It would feel almost peaceful. Golden clouds beneath you. Soft light scattered through the haze. The rings fading above, like a memory of the world you left behind. For a moment, Saturn might seem gentle, but there is nowhere to land. No surface waiting below. Only deeper layers. The sky would slowly disappear. The sunlight would weaken. The colors would turn from gold to brown to black. Around you, the atmosphere would grow heavier. The pressure would rise from every direction. The temperature would climb. Your spacecraft would not crash into the ground. It would never reach one. It would sink, layer after layer, deeper into a planet that has no floor. The radio signal would begin to break. Static, silence. And still, Saturn would remain calm from the outside. Beautiful, perfect, untouched, as if nothing had happened. That is the horror of Saturn. It does not need to destroy you with violence. It only needs to let you fall and never give you anything to land on. Saturn is not alone. Around it moves a kingdom of worlds, cold, silent, and strangely beautiful. From far away, they look like small lights circling a giant planet. But each of them is a place of its own, a world with its own face, its own history, its own mystery. Titan is the largest of them, a moon wrapped in thick orange haze with rivers, lakes, and rain, not of water, but of methane. An alien world that feels strangely familiar, like Earth seen through a dream. Then there is Enceladus, small, bright, frozen, but beneath its ice, an ocean is hidden, and from cracks in its surface, that buried sea escapes into space as shining plumes. A quiet moon leaking one of the greatest secrets in the solar system. Mimas looks different. Scarred by a giant crater, it resembles something artificial, almost like a machine, not a moon. A frozen shell marked by a single overwhelming wound. Iapetus is stranger still, one half dark as coal, the other bright as snow, a world split into light and shadow, as if two different moons were fused into one. And farther out drifts Rhea, cold, pale, ancient, its surface covered in craters, carrying the silence of deep time. Together, these moons transform Saturn. It is no longer just a planet with rings. It becomes a system, a royal court of frozen worlds, hidden oceans, strange skies, and ancient scars. Saturn does not rule with fire. It rules with gravity. Titan is not just another moon. It is one of the strangest worlds in the solar system. Hidden beneath a thick orange atmosphere, Titan does something almost no other world can do. It has weather, clouds, rain, rivers, lakes, and seas. From far away, it almost sounds like Earth, but Titan is not Earth. Its rivers do not carry water. Its rain does not fall from water clouds. Its lakes and seas are filled with methane and ethane, liquid hydrocarbons flowing across a frozen world. The air is thick, the sky is orange, the ground is colder than anything life on Earth was built to endure. And yet, Titan feels familiar in a disturbing way. It has shorelines, valleys, dunes, storms, a landscape shaped by liquid wind and time. It is like looking at Earth through a broken mirror. A world with the language of our planet, but written in another chemistry. That is what makes Titan so powerful. It is not alive like Earth. It is not warm like Earth. But it reminds us that nature can build familiar worlds from completely alien ingredients. Titan is not Earth. It is Earth's shadow, orbiting Saturn in orange darkness. For centuries, Saturn was only a distant light in the sky, a golden point, a mystery too far away to touch. Then we sent machines into the darkness. Pioneer 11 gave humanity its first close look. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 followed, revealing rings, moons, shadows, and details no telescope on Earth could ever see. But those spacecraft only passed by. Cassini stayed. After a 7-year journey across the solar system, Cassini entered orbit around Saturn and became the first spacecraft to live inside its kingdom. For 13 years, it watched the planet turn. It flew through the ring system. It crossed the shadows of moons. It saw Titan beneath its orange haze. It found Enceladus breathing water into space. And with every orbit, Saturn became less like a distant planet and more like a place, a real system of worlds. But Cassini could not stay forever. Its fuel was running out. And near Saturn were moons that might hold the ingredients for life. So the mission ended with a choice: not to leave Cassini drifting, not to risk it falling one day onto Titan or Enceladus, but to send it into Saturn itself. On its final orbit, Cassini turned toward the planet it had studied for years. It entered the atmosphere. It kept transmitting until the signal broke, and then silence. Cassini did not simply die at Saturn. It became part of the world it helped us understand. Saturn looks perfect from a distance. A golden planet, a ringed world suspended in silence. But behind that beauty is something much darker. Its rings are not decoration. They are broken debris. Its clouds do not hide a surface. They hide an endless fall. Its moons are not just small worlds around a planet. They are places with orange skies, hidden oceans, frozen scars, and mysteries we still do not understand. And Cassini, a machine built on Earth, spent years inside this system before disappearing into the planet it helped us reveal. Saturn is not just beautiful, it is strange, cold, silent, dangerous. A kingdom of rings, moons, gravity, and secrets. And maybe that is why it stays with us. Because the most beautiful worlds in space are often the ones hiding the deepest darkness. Subscribe so you don't miss the next cinematic journey into the mysterious worlds of space. Leave a like if this episode pulled you deeper into Saturn's story. And write in the comments, which world should we explore next?